Hey guys, happy Friday, and it is time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So let's jump right in and see what happened around here today. So today, pretty much hooked up all the steering on the 69 Calic today. I had the steering box installed previously just loosely, and the steering column was just kind of sitting in there. So today, put those on with the various couplers and everything. Painted his existing tie rods. Some of the ends of them were pretty frozen on there, so it took some heat and some swear words to get the old tie rod ends out and get new ones in. But yeah, I went ahead and got the old ones out, painted them up, put in the new tie rod ends, and put those on. See what else. Went ahead and put on the rotors and the disc brakes, and did kind of like a preliminary alignment. I mean, it basically looks straight right now, and the steering box is basically centered, so good enough for now. Of course, we'll do a very precise alignment later when the car's on the ground and sitting at right height. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is looking. It's really nice looking disc brake kit, especially considering it was kind of like an economy kit basically from Impy. They do make kits that come with like Willwood calipers and stuff like that, but this is a slightly budget-friendly build here, so these brakes are fine. Honestly, anyway, these cars don't weigh anything, and with 145s on the front, putting giant brakes on here would be a complete waste because they would just lock up that much easier. But anyway, so yeah, I did paint the rotors here. They were basically just all raw. So I cleaned the oil off them, masked them, and then painted the kind of the hub part of it. And yeah, really happy with how they look. I actually like the gold on the calipers, so I'm just gonna leave those like that, and they'll kind of peek through the Fuchs wheels. And let's see. Those are really kind of the main things that I did on this car today. I feel like there must have been something else, but it must have been pretty minor because I'm not thinking about it at the moment. But yeah, pretty much just finishing up steering, suspension, stuff like that, hooking up the steering box. This is all connected at this end. There's a big snap ring that goes in here. The original bearing right here was in good shape, so cleaned it out real thoroughly and greased it, and then put it back in. And then there's a snap ring that retains it. So that's all in. I forgot to mention previously, I did restore already his wiper mechanism. So the arms and the body here itself are just spray painted. Again, trying to not to go overboard with powder coating on this car, try and save a few bucks. So yeah, clean it up real quick. Little high quality rattle can paint, and looks as good as new. And so yeah, that's kind of the main things I did today, other than the usual errand running and stuff like that on this car. I did get a little bit done on the 68 double cab. It's this gorgeous metallic green color. Everyone that's, I don't know if you can really tell the metallic. It's like a very fine metallic. Everyone, yeah, there you go. You can see it. Everyone that sees this car in person just completely goes nuts over this color. The top itself is, of course, dirty right now, but it has ever so slightly pearl in it. Everyone that sees this bus in person instantly falls in love with this color combination. Anyway, where I was going with that was, I did get his drums back today from machining. Remember, there was an interference problem where there's some ribs on the drums that are on the, facing the wheel side, and they were actually interfering with the wheels, so the wheels wouldn't mount flush to the drum. So I took those and had them machined. You can kind of see here where they were machined if you look real close. So those will all be powder coated, and those machine marks won't really show. But anyway, so that was done. Went ahead and test fitted them. The wheels mount flush now to the drums like they're supposed to. The clearance in here is gonna be tight, so I think what I need to do is and this may be hard to do without the motor and drivetrain in this car, but I really need to kind of load the suspension up and just see where this tire goes relative to the inner fender lip here. These do swing on a little bit of an arc, not as much as a swing axle car because these axles are double jointed, but there is some geometry in the trailing arm which does cause them to go into negative camber as they travel. So I'm hoping that this tire is going to swing enough that way that it's going to clear. If not, then we'll come up with how to address that. So the other thing I ran into interference wise is these later buses are called Big Nut because literally the nut that holds the axle on is enormous compared to earlier cars and Beetles. And of course, now that I'm able to get the wheel on all the way, the nut is interfering with the wheel. So I've already got a plan on how to machine the nut. We're actually not going to have to take as much off it as I would have thought once I started taking some measurements. So we're not really going to lose anything strength-wise the way we're going to do it. But yeah, it's just one more thing. Luckily, I've got a friend with a CNC lathe who I think is going to machine those for me and get those taken care of. So those will go on. The other thing I have to do on this car, and I ordered the metal for it, I mentioned this before, is that this, if you can see this tube right here, this is the tube that the e-brake cable runs through. That tube is actually supposed to go through this little bracket right here and end about right here where the lip is on the, this is the sort of flexible part of the e-brake cable assembly. So that metal tube is actually supposed to come out and meet this right here. But, you know, it was corroded or for whatever reason. So I need to make an extension for this tube. So I ordered a piece of tubing that's basically this size, which is about 1/2 inch OD. And then another section of tube that will slip over that as a little sleeve. So I'll weld that all up and extend that out to the right length here to properly butt up against this e-brake cable. Because now if you tried to pull the e-brake, this thing would just collapse and you wouldn't really have any e-brake. So yeah, I need to make that little extension. The other side actually may also need to be extended a little bit, like 1/2 inch, but for whatever reason on this side it's about 4 inches too short. So I got some material on order from McMaster Car against just some tubing. I'm just gonna make a little sleeve and a little extension, weld the sleeve and the extension together. They'll butt right up, or actually the sleeve will slide over this one. Boom, problem solved. But you know, just one of those little things. Sometimes you run into weird stuff like that on cars, things that are kind of missing or they got rusted off at some point. Minor thing, but still has to be done for having functional e-brakes, which of course we want. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it for today. I was gonna get around to this guy and maybe even like pressure wash it and stuff, but I didn't get around to it. So we'll see. I may just start tearing it apart how it is without washing it and just deal with the grime and stuff. We'll see. But probably next week I will tear into this one. I did talk to the owner today and we both agreed on a plan for his pan. So yeah, his pan is going to be awesome. It's going to be like new basically. And yeah, this one is beat to hell. And so we've got a plan to address that and it's going to be super nice. So hopefully we'll get going on this thing probably early, if not first thing next week. So that's it for today, guys. That's it for this week. And thanks for watching as usual. And we will see you all again soon. Bye.